All right. Well, welcome back. Uh, Sorry for the delay, guys. Normally this would be out quite a bit earlier. We've had a little trouble in a home of this little game. I have a member of the household who's positive for COVID. So while I am not at this point, and I'm in a locked up room now, so I've taken my mask off. But while I am not, I do have a kid who is. So I still have more than enough energy to do the game, but I lack some of the motivation the last couple of days. So I've been kind of out of sorts. But I want to get back to this. So here we are with the next episode of The Adventures of the Zebulon Harding, where Zeb and Earl had just arrived at the Jeffries Vega Collective, where we've been trying to get to for quite some time. Completed a couple of vows, having gotten here, and got here to the Jeffries Vega Collective. Kind of exciting. Finished up some stuff and arrived with Asana as well, and did not get the warmest of welcomes. They seemed very suspicious of us, not least because they do recognize the ship, but apparently this was a ship that was part of the Jeffries Vega Collective, and they'd like to know what the hell I was doing with it, and where I came from, and where the hell the crew was, because the ship was reported destroyed back to them over a month ago. I think in the last game I had said something about just sort of assuming that the planet was like some sort of verdant green thing, and I got to thinking about it, and I thought, let's just find out. Let's see what kind of situation we have here. So I just rolled on the oracles. You could certainly prep this kind of stuff. I think if you were running a regular game, a little bit of prep would go a long ways as a GM, just to prep up some systems and planets and that sort of stuff. But honestly, as I'm running it, I just like doing this stuff as I go and having to ad-lib my way through it, so that's kind of fun. So before I started recording tonight, I just rolled up all the stuff for the Jeffries Vega Collective to find out what we got going on. So the system with the Jeffries Vega Collective is a red smoldering star, like we've seen before over here. They seem quite common. Jovian planet. So the Jeffries Vega Collective is located at a Jovian big gas giant. Powerful magnetic fields, toxic atmosphere, that results in crystalline rain coming down. Although it does host some simple life, all of the human habitation is in orbital settlements that number over 10,000 people. It's really quite populated for really any part of the Forge, but certainly part of the Outlands like we are in right now. The technology, the appearance of the settlement is rustic. Now we're talking about orbital settlements, and I would assume probably moon settlements. But for rustic, I'm assuming, I'm reading from that the settlements are pretty basic tech. So we have strong magnetic fields. We would assume pretty strong radiation if, Jupiter was anything to go by. A lot of moons around Jupiter. You can't really live there on the surface because the radiation would kill you pretty quick. So some pretty like basic. How do you solve those kinds of problems simply, and the way that you would in the first couple of generations of people arriving here in the Forge from where they came from on generation ships? And the answer to that, I think, is something like, you got a lot of moon-based satellites. You have stuff where, like, okay, we deal with the radiation by digging into the ground. So you've got maybe an ice planet that's got ice tunnels, and everything is ice except for the local like the actual like hab units and stuff like that are just carved ice, and you've got maybe a rocky moon where they've just tunneled into the rock and stuff deep enough for the radiation to not be an issue. Maybe they've got some domes on the surface, but the domes are just to deal with controllable amounts of radiation, and they've got these domes, air pockets, mostly for trying to do plant life or something like that, but probably not. Probably that's just some controlled surface area. So you're talking a lot of hydroponics, a lot of science. Science is going to be very important here. So self-sustaining, tens of thousands of people, but kind of we have nicer tech. Earl has seen nicer settlement tech pretty much anywhere, but they seem to be making it work. They certainly seem to be making it work. A couple other things that I rolled that I find kind of interesting here for the Jeffries. Where did I put up for the Jeffries Vega Collective? I rolled the settlement projects involve research and rating, which I'm actually combining into one from these two. So they do research and they do rating, but the rating is also research related. So because they appear to be tangling with places like Meridian Station and things like that, I think they're sort of corporate raiders. They kind of they're anti-corporate, and they're raiding or acting against these corporate entities that are doing stuff with the science or doing bad things with the science, or can be sort of headed off or dealt with in various ways. Or the intel can be gathered, stolen, the knowledge can be gathered or stolen. So I kind of like that. I really like that a lot. So research and rating. So they're scientists, but they're also kind of adventure scientists. Pretty cool idea there. The trouble that they have with the settlement is the changing environment. I mean, they're over a gas giant with big magnetic fluctuations and stuff like that. So it's a challenging environment to be in, but an interesting one, and a lot of neat things to go here. So we did manage to get where they allowed us at least to come in and dock, although they're immediately searching through here. So I'm going to say the first couple of hours after that point in time, we're treated to like hard decontamination. We're basically put into a brig on station. In one of the stations, we're brought into like sort of a subterranean, like big hangar type of thing. And probably I would say we're coming into the system. We'll say it's maybe even an outlying station or something that's in orbit, but kind of out in space, and it's far enough away from this gas giant to not be having to deal with the radiation directly, since it's not at lethal levels at this point. And they're shaking down the ship and questioning us, and there's a whole bunch of stuff there. Just trying to convince them of our bona fides and trying to figure out, how to get these guys on our side. So I learned what happened to the former crew of the Zebulon Harding. Okay, I think I'm going to be trying. While what I'm trying to do is is answer their questions as much as I can. Although if I had answers, I think I probably wouldn't be searching for them so much. So, and I don't hesitate to point that out to them. Like, listen, I came here to you because I didn't. I came here because I didn't know what had happened. Look, I know that my claim to the ship, such as it is really just the fact that I happen to be Zeb's friend, and I guess, and found salvage. I was on the damn thing. Well, how'd you find it? I don't know. I don't know why I was on it in the first place. I don't know how I got there, and I'm just trying to get answers. But I'm not just trying to get answers for me. I'm trying to get answers for Zeb too. We're both in this. We're doing our best. I'm trying to pull some kind of scam. How would I scam you? What would I scam you? Spent the last couple of weeks just trying to find you people. I just want to know what the hell's going on. What can I do about it? For all I know, people that were on that ship were my friends. I don't remember getting on there. I don't remember the last I don't know how I got. What is the last thing you do remember? I don't know. It was a month ago. It didn't have anything to do with these people. I wasn't even looking for work at the time. I'm not sure where I was. And I think thinking about that, Earl realizes he doesn't really have a clear recollection of where his memory ends and this thing picks up. He's got memories. He's got people that he knows that know him. But he was sort of off the radar for a lot of, like, the last month. So it's really kind of interesting to sort of figure out what's going on there. And I'm going to try and, while they're questioning me, I'm going to be trying to question them to a certain extent and kind of gather information and see if I can figure out what's going on here. So when you search for clues, ask questions, analyze evidence, or do research, roll wits. All right, how witty can I be? I don't have any modifiers here. See how well I do. That is not great. That is a terrible roll. I rolled just about as bad as I can roll, and I got a 9 and a 5. Now I could burn momentum to get a weak hit. On a miss, my investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals some sort of unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. Pay the price. My quest is to learn what happened. My quest specifically? How's it worded? Learn what happened to the former crew of the Zebulon Harding. On a miss, your investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. Pay the price. Pay the price says, a friend, a companion, or an ally is in harm's way, or you are if you're alone. Alright, I need a name for this person that I'm dealing with here. So, let's get on the oracles. Lucas Beckett, call sign Shadow. He's got a vibe. Alright, meet Lucas Beckett. The guy who's been questioning me for this whole thing. He keeps asking me questions about what happened. I said, I don't know. Maybe they found me. Maybe I was stranded. They picked me up. I don't know where what happened to them. I fix machinery. Sometimes I poke around in remnant stuff trying to figure out how it works. That's what I get hired for. I'm good with machines. I don't know anything about most of this. I'm just good with machines, good with ships, good with old tech. I don't know why, I don't know how half the time. Maybe they hired me, but sole survivor. Maybe they're lost somewhere and we can get back to them. Maybe, maybe. Here's what I think may have happened. You want to hear a theory? Sure, lay it on me. What I think happened is that you're with a raider group. No, you were with Meridian Station. You were one of their team. You managed to trick them into getting within comms range. And you loaded a virus onto the Zebulon Harding that disabled the ship and rendered them inoperable. And then you came onto the ship, took it over. You've been using a compromised AI to get the ship back here so you can find out more about us under the guise of amnesia. Well, that doesn't make any damn sense. Why would I do that? Why not just bring a whole bunch of people back here? If I knew how to get back here, what do I even need the ship for? I don't know, but I do know that we try to keep our location secret, especially for places like your home, Meridian. You mentioned that you were from there. No, I mentioned I've been there, and they're just as pissed at me as they might be at you. Last time I was there, they tried to shoot me, or somebody I was standing next to, leastways, one way or the other. Paladin, you heard of him? Oh yes, you dropped that name. I remember that you dropped that name. Doesn't mean that you actually know him. Now how do you know it's a him? I think this is the story that's much more believable based on information like this. And he puts a flimsy out there and it's got kind of a grainy picture that might be me. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. That's security footage from our ship that was sent as part of the SOS that was the SOS message that was left for us in a floating beacon at the rendezvous, along with a recording. And he pushes this button and this recording plays over the speaker. And it's this frantic woman who's kind of not frantically, but like very urgently and very desperately saying something like, you know, Mayday, Mayday, this is the Zebulon Harding. Ship systems have been compromised. We are under attack. The AI, and then it breaks up for a little bit. Too much for us. Too much to process. Ship compromised. No way to control. Meridian Station got here before us. This isn't great. Got where before you? He just kind of looks at me. Listen, I don't know what that is. I don't know why that picture, I don't even know that is me. We were floating dead in space, middle of nowhere. There wasn't anybody around. I can give you the coordinates, and I rattle them off. That's where we were at. Is that where the rendezvous was at? No. I don't know where the rendezvous was at. I don't know what you're talking about for any of this. I'm just trying to figure out what happened. I'm trying to find out what happened to your crew, your ship. I was just on the damn thing. I'm doing this out of the just curiosity for my own self and the goodness of my heart, because Zebulon seemed like he needed the help. Oh yes, the compromised AI. He is not compromised. He has been the only reason that we're probably still here. He ain't compromised. Sure as hell ain't homicidal about to turn on his crew. He had ample opportunity to do that. Many times. Well, no. If you compromised him as part of the Meridian operation, I'm not part of any Meridian operation. Where did they get to first? And he just kind of walks out. So that's me going with this oracle result of a friend, companion, or allies in harm's way, or you are pure line. So harm's way here is the Jeffries Vega Collective believes that I stole the ship. That was part of the Meridian operation. And that on top of that, Zeb is compromised. Zeb is part of it because he was like compromised in some way, shape, or form. Because that's how they're reading this audio recording, saying things like, you know, the AI has taken over the ship. We've been compromised. Everything is, you know, the systems are completely out of our control, and Meridian got here first. Meridian reached the objective first. And they just leave me in this comps thing, and I'm sitting here wondering, like, what the hell's gonna happen to me? What the hell's gonna happen to Zeb? Not awesome. Definitely not going my way. Unless there's a son on what might be happening with her. Okay, all right. Earl, when you make a move to craft, repair, repurpose, or modify equipment or technology, add +1 and take +1 minimum hit. So he had some kind of thing that he put on the table here that he had played. So there's a terminal in here, but it's probably locked down. That's fine. This is old tech though. We talked about this. This is rustic technology. I feel like if I cross a couple of wires here, I might be able to get some activity. Let's see if I can find out something here. I'm going to make a risky move. We're going to see if I can't face danger here and attempt something risky. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can't get some kind of comms thing going on here, at least figure something out. I don't think they've got the kind of tech where I wouldn't know if there was a camera here. So first thing we're going to do is have, I don't think they got cameras everywhere. This isn't corporate. This isn't a corporate kind of thing. They don't necessarily have cameras in every place. I don't think they're used to having prisoners. This is a room. It's a room that can be secured, but it isn't like it's a, it's not meant. We'll see. We'll see. Let's find out. Maybe they've got cameras. That's what we're facing danger to find out. I'm going to do this with deception, stealth, or trickery. I'm going to see if I can get, but I am going to take a +1 on this because I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to be messing with the tech in the room and trying to modify it, but doing it in such a way that I don't want to set off every bloody alarm in the place. Let's see what I get. Weak hit. Weak hit, not enough chops to get what I need here. Okay. On a weak hit, you succeed, but at a troublesome cost, make a suffer move. Suffer move. Lose momentum. -1. I think that's fine. I'm just going to lose a bit of momentum because I'm fiddling with this for a little bit and I'm having to kind of like work my way into this thing by, jury rigging a couple of things, and I'm getting like little scorch mark scars on my fingertips and stuff like that, messing with these hot wires and stuff like that. After a little bit, I do get like a little bit of sound. I'm crossing a couple of comms wires. There is a comms thing in here, but it requires, so I'm not trying to like broadcast or anything like that. I'm just kind of crossing wires and see if I can get, I just get hums on the speakers if I do this one. If I connect here, it's like, oh, here I get feedback. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. Super bad. All right. Here. Okay. Here I'm getting questioning from another room. That's it sounds like the same guy asking similar questions of Asana and getting even less information. She was on a colony. Paladin sent this idiot to come pick me up. Now she's involved in this stuff. She doesn't know anything about it. She's only been on a ship for a couple of days, tops. I don't want to be here. I certainly don't want to know anything about you idiots. Just let me go. And I'll listen to this for a little bit. And I'm checking a couple other things and checking where the feedback's at. And as soon as he leaves the room, kind of check to make sure he's not coming back. As soon as he leaves the room, I'm checking a couple different things here, and I'm gonna switch. And I'm kind of switching back and forth. I was like, Asana, Earl? Yeah, I'm in one of the other rooms here. Do you know where you are? Yeah, I'm in a room. Okay. Switching because I keep switching back and forth in wires. Listen, I think that they think that Zeb's been compromised. They got this whole theory about how I'm working for Meridian Station and Zeb's been hacked and he's like some sort of compromised AI and all this. We need to get out of here. Well, why did you come here in the first place if I didn't know they were going to act like, okay, we can argue about this later. Can you help me get the hell out of here? Can you help us get the hell out of here? Well, I don't really have much choice. I don't want to stay here. Yeah, I mean, they seem like pretty interesting people, but yeah, right now I think the best place to be is with them in our rear view. I want to see if I can jury rig this door open. I don't think you're probably too far away because we're all in the same circuit here, but see if you can figure out a way to get out of the room here. We'll try to move on from there. All right. Wait a minute. Can you throw a tantrum? Throw your chair or something against the wall? Just get really mad and yell at him? You can stop really quick. I just want to see something. All right. Pretty soon I hear kind of in the distance, but in a direction I can tell, like a kind of a yell and then the banging of like the chair. And so it's like, hey, doctor, and thing. So I know kind of which direction she is. Cool. All right. I'm going to try to, I get +1 momentum. And I'm going to try to, I think it's going to have to be face danger again. I think I get the same kind of thing again. I'm making a move to craft, repair, repurpose, modify equipment. I don't like rolling exactly the same thing with the exact same stat for the exact same purpose. I was just doing, I was doing a face danger in the first place. I think I'm just going to let this ride and say this is where things are going here right now. So I'm going to, having gotten that direction of where she's at, I kind of do a little thing with the lock and I pop the lock. The door doesn't open, but it does like release at least, so I can shove it the rest of the way. And then I kind of sneak along that same direction. There's a couple people around, but this is like a kind of on a grid, so I can kind of circle around and stuff like that. They're wandering around. And what is Asana's thing? I'm trying to remember what is her deal. I didn't write that down. Why didn't I write it down? Oh wait, is she under my companions? I bet she is. Connections. Asana, immersed, shifty, and secretive. Her expertise is thief. Yeah, let's see if we can sneak out of here. Alright, so what I think I'm going to try and do here, I'm going to face danger, but I am going to modify this thing, and since I've got it, I'm going to set off an alarm, but it's something that isn't what so this is a base on like an airless moon. I'm going to set off a fire alarm because that gets everybody's attention. And I am going to, so I'm going to do this by modifying something, setting off an alarm and making some kind of modification here to make sure that, that kind of deal. And we're going to see if we can't get to the Zebulon. I think it's in the space station. We're on the planet. They were up at the space station. They brought us down to this thing, so we're away from this thing. I need to get a comms unit. We'll see. All right, let's get moving along this way though. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go for my move, and we are going to face danger, deception, trickery, or stealth. I get a +1. I get a +2 because she's a thief. So Asana's also good at this stuff. And God, that freaking 10. Ugh, weak hit still. Fine. But I get +2 momentum. That takes me up to a 10. And I already know, well, the face danger, weak hit, troublesome cost, make a suffer move. I'm just going to knock the momentum back down to a 9. That's fine, because this thing is complicated. We're rushing all over the place. People know that we're out, but there's also like a fire alarm thing. So there's panic going on all over the place. How are we gonna get out of here? We're on a freaking moon. Where's the ship even at? I'm like, oh, that is a hell of a good question. You got a comms on you? No, of course they don't have a comms on me. All right, well, we're gonna have to mug somebody and get a comms unit, or just try and find one. I'm gonna do fight using. Okay, when you fight a battle and it happens in a blur, envision your objective and roll. If you primarily fight using trickery to befuddle your foe, roll + shadow. Sure. I'm going to take another bonus on this from Asana being a thief. She goes, all right, I'm going to distract this guy. You come up behind him and get his comms. Don't hurt. I was like, she's already. I was like, hey, what's going on? Where's the fire? He's like, yeah, very funny. He goes, oh, kind of little. He kind of looks and squints at her and tries to figure out, like, and then he realizes that he doesn't know her face and that this is a freaking moon base and he should know everybody's face. And he starts to reach for starts to bring up his weapon. And I have a +1 because it's her. I don't want to look. It's a strong hit. Ooh, man, that wasn't a very good roll either. Yikes. Not an awesome roll at all, but I did get a 3, which is enough. Okay, so on a strong hit, you achieve your objective unconditionally. You and any allies who join the battle may take +2 momentum. Great. So my momentum's up to max. I basically jump on this guy and just punch him a couple times in the side of the head and choke him out until he like collapses, and then I like drag him back behind, drag him back into the room where Asana was at, close the door. I get the comms, and I was like, okay, dialing up different God, I hope this thing's got enough push. Zeb, are you there? Roll. Oh God, Zeb, what's going on? They're locked down. Roll. Running hard diagnostics. Preparing for reboot. Earl, Zeb, you cannot let that happen. You need to get away from that. Are they on the ship? No, they have me in brackets compliance mode. Zeb, you need to get loose from that. They are going to erase you. Okay? They're going to erase your memory. We're never going to get any answers. You need to get out of there. But I can't, Earl. They have a compliance bracket on. What is it doing? It's a compliance bracket. I'd have to reject all their authorizations. Yeah, but you can do that. I need you. You're still up around the station, right? Yes, I'm in a docking ring. Zeb, I need you to get back out of there, and I need you to get away, and I need you to lead them on a chase, and we'll rendezvous with you. But you have to get out of there. Are you sure, Earl? And it seems like he's coming a little bit out of it. I said, yes, I am sure. You need to break away from them, and I will signal you when we're somewhere we can get there. And she's like, how are we going to signal him? It's like, where we got? We got to get off it. I don't know, but he can't come here. Just move. Find a shuttle. And so I'm following her, and he's like, listen, you just need to get out there. Head for that asteroid belt that was just get to the far side of the planet. Wait, they're probably going to know this. Just find an asteroid belt. Find something. Ping me on this thing with just the coordinates. Keep moving. Move 20 degrees off lateral orbit from the main star. 20 degrees, 2 degrees off lateral orbit, and shift up a degree from the first coordinate you send me. Don't send me anything after the first coordinate. I'll figure out the math from there and find you. Every hour shift. And +1 -2, just make it progressive. +1 -2, +3 -4, and just hopefully that doesn't just keep them in the exact same plane. In any case, just keep moving. I'll figure out the math. Go. And I am going to, this isn't really a move exactly, but I'm taking an advance. What I am going to do here is I am going to take an advance on my Overseer module that I paid for and pick this one here. The Overseer can pilot the vehicle independently when you face danger by handing over control of the AI in emergency or to summon the vehicle remotely within a hazardous situation. You can roll integrity. If you do so, take +1 momentum on a hit. Yep, I'm gonna pay 2 XP. That should take me up to, yeah. And I'm talking Zeb into the fact that he can pilot the ship on his own, and I am going to face danger and get Zeb out of here. And while this is all going, we're going to take a, I'm not even going to try and get a shuttle. Is there an escape? Look, escape pods, which is probably already, some people already fired the damn things because of the fire alarm. They're all going to be unlocked because of the fire alarm, even if it isn't serious. Especially back in these old days, anything like this, if anybody wanted off, you got off. Shitty little escape pods, but that's probably fine. All right, so I am going to face danger. Going to do it with, what did I roll for this? I feel like it's still stealth. It's still stealth because we're basically tricky. Like, we're sneaking around here. Zeb's breaking away, and then he's getting basically on the run, and then all, dodging around inside the asteroid belt and just staying mobile, using like his attitude jets and stuff to move around without actually like using his engines, anything like that. And yeah, I'm just gonna roll Shadow again. This is gonna be the session of Shadow, which is ironic because that is what's his name's call sign that has been questioning us. But I'm not rolling. Actually, I'm not doing this. I'm not rolling any of these stats. It doesn't matter. I'm rolling the integrity of the ship, which is a +4. So I am going to. That's tricky. Okay, so I'm going to roll stealth, but with a +2 because that gets me up from my stealth. My shadow is a 2, and 2 more gets me up to the 4 that I would be rolling to roll the ship's integrity for a face danger. And that is a strong hit. Awesome. Okay, so face danger, strong hit, you're successful, take +1 momentum. I don't need +1 momentum. So what we're going to do is we're going to get to like an escape pod type thing, and a couple other people around here, some of our panicking, it's okay, so we're just going to look to panic. We're going to rush in there. What are you waiting for? Go! We say to some other people that seem to be hesitating, and they, encouraged by our own panic, they jump into another pod. It's like, wait. And when I hear the next pod eject, we go a couple seconds after that. So it looks like 2 groups went at the same time. And we're floating up out of there. And we hear, so it's like, you do not need to evacuate. No fire has been located. We repeat, nobody needs to evacuate. God damn it, that's the 4th one already on the open comms, which is fine. And we're just going to keep doing our little attitude, just get away from the gravity of this little moon and just keep doing our little jets and start heading out, just kind of moving our way out to the asteroid, doing this thing. It's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. You know what? It is actually working. So how long is it going to, so I figure out how long it's going to take us to get out to the asteroid field. And based off of that, where Zeb should be at that point, and I head for that location because I'm not going to have the juice to catch him. He sends me a ping and I know where I need to, like, from there I can kind of figure it out, and I'm working it out, kind of scribbling, like, working, tapping it out, working it out, writing on the damn bulkhead, and just kind of going along with this thing. But a strong hit, I'm not going to keep rolling on this thing just to line up this thing. Eventually, I see like this lurking shadow of Zebulon Harding, and slowly come into the thing and give it one little ping, and then I see, airlock, just one light above the airlock kind of lights up, and I guide it in, and I get locked in and re-enter the ship. Welcome back, Earl. Thank you, Zeb. It's good to be back on the ship. They seem to think that we've been compromised. Yes, that was the impression that I had as well. Something about I was hacked by some group from Meridian Station. You think that's what happened? I have very good comms discipline, Earl, and a very good defensive ecom suite. It doesn't seem likely that I would have been compromised. I do not feel compromised. Well, I don't feel compromised either. And I really don't think, if I was working for Meridian Station, that one of them might have mentioned it the last couple times I was there. I think they know something about what happened, otherwise they wouldn't have tried to blow you up, blow the engines up when we were heading to Glimmer, and they wouldn't have shot at me the last time I was there. They definitely know something's going on, but I just don't think I was working for them. Zeb, do you believe me? I do, Earl, because I don't think I was compromised. I think something else was going on. They said, and all this time I'm heading up to like the bridge and stuff like that. Zeb, they said that there was a rendezvous position where they'd been left a message that had all this information that they got, some kind of drop location, and before that there was a mission that they were on. Did they say anything? Did they check your logs to see if you'd been there? They didn't find anything, Zeb. Yeah, but what were they looking for? Did you get a record of the search? If we have a record of the search, we know what coordinates they were checking to see if you'd been at. Then we know where we need to go. Where did they send you for the mission? Where did they look for that in the log? What were they looking for in the logs? Because if we know what they were looking for, we know where we need to go. And I'm going to gather information. When you search for clues, ask questions, analyze evidence, or do research, roll wits. But your AI module keeps watch when you secure an advantage by talking through a situation with the overseer. You may roll plus integrity. If you do, take plus 1 momentum on a hit. Secure an advantage. I don't know if it's secure. I'd like it to be gather information, but when you assess it, attempt to gain leverage. Assess the situation. I'll take it. Assess the situation. All right, I'm doing this again with the integrity of the ship, which is currently a 4. I really need to do something about that. And I'm going to secure an advantage. I'm going to roll. I'll pick heart, but then I take a plus 1 on that because heart's not quite high enough to match the integrity of the ship, so that should give me a plus 4 on the roll. All right, weak hit, or I can burn momentum for a strong hit. I don't need a strong hit. I can just take a weak hit. So on the strong hit, take both. On a weak hit, choose one. Because I don't need the extra momentum. I will take a plus 1 on my next move, though, which is not a progress, as long as it's not a progress move. Yes, they did search for coordinates. I have those coordinates. They're back on the other side of Glimmer. It's going to be quite a long run. Well, maybe we can swing past Glimmer on the way. I think I need to talk to Paladin about and get some of the stuff that he wants back here. Touch base and drop a son off here. Yeah, I would appreciate it. Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Listen, we're doing our best, all right? Well, I should hope so. Are you sure it's your best? I'll say, we got out of there just fine. All right, listen, we got coordinates. We know what we need to do, and we're going to head straight back to Glimmer. No wandering around on this thing. Quick, clean, in, out, straight to Glimmer. By the most direct route we can calculate. Let's do this. And I'm going to take this plus 1 forward on the next move to do an exploration thing. I'm going to undertake an expedition. You trailblaze a route through perilous space. But I'm only going to do this as so we're going to do this as a progress thing here. We're going to add one. Since it isn't the longest, back to Glimmer from JVC. And we're just going to make this a troublesome one because I'm not winding back and forth the way I did for the series of coordinates that Paladin gave us. I'm just trying to get straight back to Glimmer from the JVC. So we're going to do that, and we are going to start out and see what we get from there. So we're going to do I'm just going to do the first move, and that's undertake the expedition. We are going to definitely keep under the radar. I don't want them knowing we left, and I don't want them knowing which way we went. So we're going to keep under the radar and roll plus shadow. So we're going to roll plus shadow and take a plus 1 forward on it from the previous roll because we know where we need to go. We have it set. Oh, that was. I'm going to take my vows. Learn what happened to the former crew of the Zebulon Harding. Kind of. I'll mark at least 1 advance there. All right. I'll get you back home, Asana. I will. Be a little bit more complicated. All right, so we're going to undertake an expedition. Going with shadow and taking a plus 1 on the roll. Boom. Again, a weak hit. Burning momentum for a strong. For cost en route, make a suffering or 2 suffering. Face peril at the waypoint, envision honor, or do a strong. Reach the waypoint, envision the location, and mark progress per the rank of your expedition. I'm going to burn momentum on this because I don't need a complication. Well, wait a minute. Weak hit, peril at the waypoint. Yeah, maybe there's a reason that they go indirectly. Going straight's dangerous. Okay, I'm going to keep my momentum and face peril at the waypoint. Next time, we will envision what I encounter. But yeah, we're going to do our first jump and jump out there, and when we come out of it, a couple hours later, we'll see what we see. All right, and that's where we're going to stop, jumping away from Jeffries Vega Collective. That did not, man, I was really hoping to get a cool, science adventure home base of operations to work with and stuff, and instead they think I'm the guy that wiped out their crew and took their ship. Right. All right, so yeah, shit got more complicated. I'm shocked. Things got more complicated. Oh no. How could I have possibly predicted that in Ironsworn Starforged? What a coincidence. What a shocking turn of events. All right, back to Glimmer as quick as we can. Hopefully not crashing into some incredibly dangerous conflict. Thanks very much, guys. Hopefully I have the opportunity to do this again real quick. This one will be running late, but we should be back on track after this. And I hope that I also get a strong hit on face danger as my family takes their COVID tests. And my little one, who's 8, has already tested positive. We have her on deep quarantine and total isolation, basically, which sucks. But she is showing no symptoms whatsoever. She's great. We just know that she's positive. We only tested her because an outbreak at school. The rest of us hopefully come back negative. So we'll hope for a strong hit on our face danger, and we will see you all real soon. Thanks very much for hanging out with me tonight.